Let's talk about your earliest childhood memories.
I grew up in Lincoln, North Carolina, in a small town called Tucker's Grove. The largest city that is near would be Charlotte. On the south side, on the north side, the largest town that it would be Maiden, and then Hickory. Actually, Tucker's it was not a town; it's a community, just a small community.
Okay.
In Lincoln County.
Was she happy? Did she have fun?
I was, yes. I did. I played with my sisters, my two sisters, and my brother. We, would go down in the woods and build forts with the trees. I played with baby dolls. We played.
Okay, you had dolls.
Yeah, we had dolls.
Okay, all right.
We had dolls. We had bicycles. We rode our bicycles. Played with our wagons. So it was a happy. It was a happy childhood.
I'm glad to hear you say that.
What type of house did you grow up in? Do you recall?
I do. I grew up in a large 2-story house. My dad was a sharecropper, so it was not his house. It belonged to the people whose land, the house was on. He paid rent, but the house was on land that did not belong to him.
So your family didn't own the land?
No, we did not own that land.
Was there electricity in your family home?
At first, we did not have electricity, but it was years later before the house burned down.
Oh.
We had the kerosene lights, and my dad had a lamp that you would pump, and I remember it had the mantles on it, and he would pump it up, and then, it was a very good glow. And then we had the kerosene lamp.
Was there a TV in your house?
In our early years, there was not a TV, but we did have a radio.
All right. You remember the radio or what you listened to on it?
We listened to, and I don't remember exactly what it was that we listened to, but we had a radio. But usually, after my dad would come in from work in the afternoons, we would sing, and he would read scriptures from the Bible, and then we would sing, and he would play games. We'd play.
Aww.
Yeah, made it very fun.
Made it
very fun.
But music, was there any music on the radio at that time?
I really don't recall the music. I just recall, there being that there, but as far as the music that we listened to when I was, at that age, I don't recall.
Was there a telephone in your home back then?
No.
No telephone?
No.
So what if you had to make a call? You needed to call a family member that lived in another state.
And I don't know how that happened, how that got done, but if there was ever anything that needed, a message that needed to be relayed, we always got the message.
It would have been telegram? No?
No.
But you got the message?
We got the message. We got the message.
Let's talk a little bit about plumbing. How did you bathe? Do you recall?
We went to the spring in the early days. We went to the spring, and we carried the water up the hill in buckets, and we poured it in the aluminum tubs.
So you had to go get the water from the spring.
Then we would heat the water on the stove.
How far away was the spring from your house? Did you have to go a long ways, like a mile?
It wasn't that bad. It wasn't that bad. It was the only bad thing about it was downhill. You carry the empty buckets downhill
and carry the full buckets uphill.
Back up.
Talk about exercise. So how many of those buckets did you have to get in order to take a bath?
I would take 2 buckets down. My sister would take 2 buckets down. So yeah.
And take your bath that way.
But we also conserved the rainwater. Tub or barrel or something on the outside for the rainwater. Serve that out. We didn't have a pump.
Did you have an indoor bathroom, Cal?
No, we did not.
Okay, tell me about that. How did you use the restroom?
Okay, we had what was called an outhouse, but on the inside at night was the chamber pots.
That sounds serious.
Yeah. Okay, so they were referred to as the chamber pots. So we had those for, nighttime. But in the mornings, we would have to take those out and empty those into the little hole, into the outhouse.
Whose job was that?
It varied. And at the time, it's because it was the way it was not something that you just did it. Something, because that was the norm, and that's what we did. So that's what we knew.
Okay.
That's what we knew.
Okay.
Yes.
So you had the outhouse and the chamber pots.
Mm-hmm.
And so you would just go at night. If you had to go, you just went to wherever the chamber pot was.
That was you. It was always in the bed, in the room that you slept in. Ours was in the room that we
So
slept
you had more than one, so you
Yes.
had some privacy.
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
well, that's good to know.
Uh-huh.
How did you clean yourself up?
At night,
Well, at any time, when you went to the outhouse or the chamber
we
pot?
always had paper. There was paper there.
What kind of paper?
Toilet paper.
Oh, wow, that's
We had-
amazing.
Yeah, we had toilet paper.
Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's good to know. Soap. Where'd you get your soap to wash up and take those baths?
From the store. My dad, he went grocery shopping.
Okay, so you actually bought it. Y'all
Yeah.
were doing all right.
Uh,
Okay. Let's talk about, we'll change the subject a little bit and talk about school. You recall where you went to school and what that whole situation was like?
When my grade school, there was a school there in the community that I lived in.
In North Carolina?
Yeah, so I went to school there. And when I went to high school, I went to New Bowl High School in Lincoln.
So you went to an actual school. It wasn't like a one-room...
No. Went to actual school.
Excellent. What about transportation? Did your family have a car?
Yes, my dad, we always had a car.
Y'all were doing good.
This was the middle.
What type of food did you guys eat back then? Do you recall what your parents used to eat?
My dad, we ate normal foods. We ate rice, we ate chicken, we ate pork was because my dad raised pigs.
Mm-hmm.
So we ate the pork, we ate corn because he did the gardens and things like that.
Okay, so you ate off the land.
Yeah, we had the chicken, we had the eggs.
I'm assuming he slaughtered the pigs or something
Yes,
like that. And
yes.
then did that bother you?
No, only until I had the one part, it didn't bother me, but the cleaning of the chitlins, that was sort of
Yes.
a little, yeah.
So you had to clean the chitlins.
Yeah, my sister and I, that was our job, along with my auntie, because, yeah.
Tell everybody what chitlins are.
Pig intestines.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Let's put it nice.
Did you eat them at the time?
I've tasted them, but no.
It wasn't your thing?
No.
All right. Did you eat any parts of the pig, though? You were okay with, pork chops and bacon?
Yeah.
And...
My dad made the ham and the show. That was good eating.
It was good eating?
Yeah,
All
good
right, now.
eating.
All right. Did you have any stories? Anything else you want to share with us? Did they ever tell you anything that you found really interesting?
And we were talking about that earlier today. My mom died when I was 12.
Oh.
So my dad, ended up raising us. Life was good. It wasn't a horrible life.
Mm-hmm.
It was, my memories of my early life. We never went to bed hungry. There was never anything that we needed that we did not have. And like I said, my dad raised us, and while he wasn't a perfect person, he was the best dad ever. He was the best dad. He made sure that after my mom died, that we were raised together. My dad had kids, prior to him marrying my mom, but he always let us know who our brothers and sisters were, that we were in each other's lives, that we connected with each other. And one of the things that I remember that's a very fond memory, after my mom died, my older sisters, my baby sister, which was 4 at the time, she didn't go to stay with her, but she would stay with her, during the day when my dad was at work. And her mom treated us like we were her children. We could go to her house.
How special is that?
If she had whatever she had in the kitchen, she would tell us, y'all go on in there and get some cake. I got cake in there. Go in there and make
So she was like a mom to you.
She was. So I can say that life was, it wasn't.
As good as it is now.
It's not, yeah. In some ways, and in some ways it was better.
Okay.
In some ways,
I like that you said that.
It was better. In some ways, it was better because at that time, growing up, you know what you know, but when you get older, then responsibilities become yours instead of somebody else's. So in some ways, it was better. It was better. But I can look back and say I don't regret the way I was brought up.
Oh, that's nice to hear.
I don't regret the way that I was.
So no regrets. You were okay.
I was okay. I was okay. We didn't have some of the niceties that some of the other kids had, that we went to school, that I went to school with. But my mom, was a seamstress. She could sew, and she passed that on to me.
Okay.
So I remember.
So she sewed your clothes to make sure you had
made sure
clothing to
that
wear.
we girls had, beautiful little dresses to wear. Yeah.
And did you go to church?
We did.
Every Sunday?
Every Sunday. Every Sunday. We went to church every Sunday. She was a Sunday school teacher, and when she came home, my dad, like I say, sang in the choir, and she sang in, and so we grew up, in the church doing, loving the Lord. So life was good. And like I said, I have no regrets.
Now it's time for Miss Cal's tips.
I asked Miss Cal what advice she'd like to pass along to current and future generations.
If I had a chance to talk to young people, and when I do have the chance to talk to young people, I try to tell them, instruct them that where you are, people that are older than you, they've been where you are trying to go. So the wisdom, the knowledge that you can gain from sometimes just sitting and talking and listening and applying that knowledge to your lives, it'll make a difference. And don't take for granted that people in your life are going to always be there, because they're not always going to be there. And when you look back and think about some of the things that you've heard, that they've told you, and if you fail to apply those to, you can avoid some pitfalls if you apply those things to your life. That's one thing, and I would also let them know that while you can learn from us as elders, we can learn from you also.
You're right about that. I learn from my grandkids.
Me too.
They teach me things.
Yes.
Miss C, do you have anything else?
I think that would be all, unless you have more questions.
I don't have anything else, but you warmed my heart. I love the advice you gave young people, and I love hearing that you have no regrets. You were happy about growing up in the early 1900s. That's beautiful, because not all stories are like that. So you're a beautiful lady. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Well, that's what's in our history box this week. Thank you for watching our YouTube channel. We know you have millions to choose from. Please watch our next video and subscribe. Remember, knowing your past prepares you for the future. Leave us a comment. We'd love that. VJ at Ancestors Back Then. See you soon.
Don't forget to like us and subscribe.